Okay, so yeah, I got a haircut today. I'm not wearing any earrings, so I look different. Okay, this is what I wanted to share with you about because it's very significant for me. You know how I've shared quite a few times about not letting your feelings overwhelm you and control you. And basically today something happened where, because I have been practicing for a number of months now, stopping and thinking about things and then making a choice, I was able to do something that was kind of significant for me. Let me just remind you that what happens is the kind of process I'm talking about mentally and making a choice is, you know how I'll use an example with food, okay? Because this is something we can probably all relate to. So, I'm craving a hot fudge sundae, and there is a Dairy Queen coming up along the road, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I really, really, really would like that. I mean, I really would. I could just drive through. Anyway, you can fill in the whole scenario of what I might be saying to myself, what I might be thinking and feeling. Well, one thing that I could do is say, okay, wait a minute, stop. And I might even pull the car over, get out of the car, and you know what happens? Immediately, instead of feeling how I want that hot fudge sundae, I've stopped what I was doing, where I was. I've changed my location from sitting in the car, gradually nearing the Dairy Queen. And I'm standing there, and now, because I've changed what I'm doing, I'm able to change what I'm thinking. I've engaged the pre-frontal cortex in the front part of my brain instead of living with all those feelings in the back of my brain and all those cravings. And I'm able to say, okay, wait a minute. All right, I'm not going to think what harm could this do. I'm going to think, what good could this do me to stop and have a hot fudge sundae? Is this going to bring me closer to the goals that I have for keeping a normal blood sugar and for feeling good and for not putting on all kinds of weight? No, it is not going to help with that. I'm able to make a reasonable decision because I've stopped the activity that I was doing when I was thinking about that hot fudge sundae. I have physically done something else by stopping the car and getting out. And that it's sort of like it clears your brain. So I have been practicing that sort of behavior with a lot of things. A lot of them have involved nervousness and anxiety and just thought patterns that are habitual but are not necessarily founded in reality. And so today I had told the local school they're losing their teacher who teaches math to 5th, 6th, and 7th graders. And I had told them, well, if you are absolutely desperate, you can call me. Well, I used to work with somebody who said no good deed goes unpunished. Well, they called me today and they said, we had found somebody, but now that person has backed out and they're not going to be able to do it. And the last day of the math teacher is this Friday. Is there any way you could help us out? Well, I had said I would, so I said, all right, I passed 5th, 6th, and 7th grade math. Not only that, but I've also successfully taught it. So even though it's been many years ago, I said, okay. So I came in and, found out about everything. And then I went into the class to observe. And all of a sudden, it hit me. Okay, I not only am going to have to manage a classroom, which I don't feel too bad about. But the thing I really feel bad about is I am going to have to enable these children to learn. It's not enough that I understand the math. I need to enable them to understand it. And all of a sudden, there's a big gulf between saying, call me if you're desperate, and then saying, yes, I'll do it, and doing it. All of a sudden, honestly, if this had been a few years ago, I think I would have had a panic attack. But I had this terrible feeling, kind of a realization of how serious this was, this thing that I had agreed to do. And you know what I did? I took a breath, and in my mind, I said, okay, stop. You got to think this through. You have handled this in the past. You can handle it now. They really are desperate. They need someone to do it. I will pray they find someone before next Monday. But if I have to do it, I can do this. My tendency was sort of my initial, not prefrontal cortex thinking tendency, but my emotions were going, oh my God, what have you done? What have you said you're going to volunteer to do? There is no way you can handle this. You can't just get up there in front of the class and wing it. You actually are going to have to accomplish enabling them to learn certain things. This is their education. The parents have expectations. The school has expectations. All these things were going through my head, and I was panicking. But I didn't actually panic. I was able to, within probably less than a minute, calm myself down. And it was because of two things. One of them is the whole stop, challenge, choose thing that I've shared about. And also the 5-second rule that Mel Robbins teaches about, where she basically says, okay, don't be getting into all the feelings and considering, should I do this? Should I not do it? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm concerned about this. I'm worried. I'm whatever. She said, you know what? If it's something you're going to do, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. And she recommends, just like in Stop, Challenge, Choose, that you change your physical position, because what that does is it sort of, it's almost like a knock up the side of the head. All of a sudden, you're engaging your prefrontal cortex because you're changing physically what you're doing, and you are enabled to think clearly. So the fact that, I was able to get a hold of myself in that classroom today and realize, I can do this. It might be hard. It might be more work than maybe I want to do, but there's a need here that I can fill. I can do it. I do not need to get all bent out of shape and anxious and panicky and worried. And I know that, this may not seem like a big deal to some of you listening, but for people who are prone to anxiety or panic attacks or just kind of getting carried away with their emotions, this is a pretty important thing, to be able to just shake it off and go, wait, I don't have to react this way. I can, instead of reacting, I can respond, decide how to respond. So I just wanted to share that with you because, it didn't happen overnight. I had to work on situations where, let's say, I don't like going into an unfamiliar situation, where I don't know people and I don't know what's going to go on. I'm sure a lot of us are like that. How many people get excited? Oh, I won't know anybody. I won't know what's going on. I will be the one who's, different and new. A lot of people are not so excited about that. And I had a history of turning down invitations to do new things because I would get this feeling like, I just don't really want to do that. I mean, I felt so strongly I didn't want to do it that, it seemed like a valid, real thing. No, yeah, I don't want to do this. But now I've taken the attitude and I've practiced over time. Okay, let me go and do it, and if I'm going to say no, see what I'm going to say no to, because I don't really know what's going to go on or who the people are. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I may say, no, this is not for me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope I haven't gone on too long because I'm driving here. Alrighty, well, I hope that this helps somebody and encourages you. Personal development is difficult many times, but it's okay. It is so worth it. It is worth it to work on yourself, because not only will you be a better you, but you'll be a better you for everyone else in your life too. God bless you.